I don't know younger if I had the patience to sit with models. I think my area in there, surprisingly, and it's interesting, it really wasn't so much models for me. It was taking things apart. It drove my parents crazy. If it was a television set, if it was a radio, if it was a toaster, I'd take it all apart in all these pieces. Now, the problem sometimes was I couldn't get them back together. And even when I got older, I was playing around with cars, and I took one of our cars and took the transmission out and took out the bearings, and stuff was all over the garage floor. And my father came home, and I'm lucky to be alive today. He was so angry at me, and he took all the pieces and put it in a box and called a patient of his who happens to be a mechanic, said, "We put this together," and then he threatened me with life, that you better not do this again. So I seem to always have that, that curiosity about how do things come together. The whole area of dentistry was involved with my dad, who was a dentist, and at a very early age I would be doing things with models and pouring up things and whatever. So there was an interest in the beginning. I think part of it also was a way of getting closer to Dad, which I didn't realize until later on in life. I had a fascination about dentistry because it was there all the time. But I didn't really know about periodontics at the time, because back when I went through school, periodontics was basically cleaning teeth. It didn't have a large surgical basis as it does today. The hard part was years ago, trying to hold on to teeth as long as we could, knowing that maybe they were only going to last a few years. And of course, as we were discussing before, some of those patients now are going 30 and 40 years with teeth I didn't think were going to make it. Brittany presented after having orthodontics, and the mom and dad and Brittany were kind of concerned. It still didn't look right to them, but they didn't know what that meant. When she would smile, she'd only show about half of her tooth, and the other half would be gum. So we kind of called that a gummy smile. And they weren't overly excited about it, even though technically all the teeth were in alignment and whatnot. So the orthodontist knew enough to send the patient on to a periodontist or to myself. So we went in and we did the procedure. It took about an hour. And a week later, she came back and she had this huge smile on her face on just, how happy it is. So she went through the typical post-operative checks. Everything was fine. She healed fine. We reviewed brushing and flossing and how to take care of it and whatever. And then about a month later, I received a card, and the card was from her grandmother. And her grandmother was saying, basically, "Thank you for bringing Brittany back to us." And part of that was because Brittany had gone into a shell. She didn't even realize how much it was affecting her. She had learned to not smile as much. She wasn't as outgoing as she used to be. And literally within 1 week, she came about and changed, and the grandmother was, "Wow, this is our old Brittany's back again." And that's exciting to me. Who wouldn't want to get up in the morning and go to work if you can have that kind of change in someone's life? I love the field. It is an absolute privilege to be able to do the things which we were never able to do before, regrowing bone and saving teeth, and if we eventually lose a tooth, to replace it with an implant which serves just as well as a tooth will serve. It has opened up dentistry tremendously.